Welcome to Lesson 22, the two devices your users touch more than anything else on their machine. Keyboards and mice get 8+ hours a day, and the difference between a bad pair and a good pair shows up as sore wrists, slow typing, and help desk tickets. Over the next 4 pieces, we'll cover mechanical versus membrane, connection types, ergonomic and split designs, and mouse specs, so you can spec the right pair for any user and close a "my keyboard stopped" ticket in 30 seconds. Starting with piece 1, the technology under the keys. Every keyboard is either membrane, a rubber dome that collapses against a circuit, or mechanical with an individual spring-loaded switch per key. Membrane is cheap, quiet, and mushy. $10 to $30, dies in 2 to 3 years of heavy use. Mechanical runs 80 and up, lasts 10 to 15 years, and gives you that crisp actuation point. And those cherry MX colors aren't decoration. Red is linear for gaming. Brown is the quiet all-rounder. Blue is clicky and loud enough to get you a complaint from across the office. Quickest field test, press a key slowly. Crisp click means mechanical. Mushy resistance means membrane. Now piece 2, how that keyboard or mouse actually talks to the PC. You've got 3 options. Wired USB is 0 latency, 0 setup, and the most reliable. Your go-to for gaming and for troubleshooting when you need to rule out wireless. Bluetooth skips the dongle and pairs across phone, tablet, and PC, but you'll pay for it with 5 to 15 milliseconds of latency. And the 2.4 gigahertz dongle splits the difference, 1 to 3 milliseconds. Wired grade speed, no Bluetooth interference. Quick rule of thumb: Office goes wired, multi-device goes Bluetooth, gaming goes 2.4 gigahertz. Connection handled. Let's talk feel, because what's under the key matters just as much as how it's connected. Membrane is your cheap rubber dome workhorse. Quiet, mushy, fine for a basic office fleet, but only good for 5 to 10 million keystrokes. Then you've got 3 mechanical flavors, all rated 50 to 100 million. MX Red is linear and smooth. Gamers and fast typists love it. MX Brown gives you a soft, tactile bump, the safe all-rounder for an office meek. And MX Blue, loud, clicky, satisfying, but never, ever deploy it in a shared room. When in doubt, hand the user a $15 switch tester before they spend $100 on the wrong board. Now, switches and durability won't save a wrist that's been bent sideways for 8 hours a day, and that's exactly what Staggered QWERTY does. Tier 1, fix. A tinted single-piece board like the Microsoft Sculpt, around $60 to $100. Easy adjustment. Tier 2, a true split like the Kinesis or Moonlander, $200+. And budget a couple of weeks to relearn typing. For mousing pain, a vertical mouse fixes the forearm twist for $50 to $100. But before you spec any of it, check the basics. Monitor at eye level, elbows at 90, wrists flat. Half the time, that fix is free. Mice follow the same logic as keyboards. Match the tool to the task. Standard optical at $10 to $50 handles 95% of office users. That's your default recommendation. Gaming mice push high DPI, lightweight bodies, and a 1000 Hz polling rate. Overkill for spreadsheets, essential for competitive play. Trackballs eliminate forearm movement entirely, which is why RSI sufferers swear by them despite the learning curve. And about DPI, anything past 1600 is mostly marketing. Higher numbers don't mean a better mouse. They mean a faster cursor, and most users don't want that. Now let's put it to work. Ticket 1, dead wireless mouse. 9 times out of 10, it's the battery. If a fresh one doesn't fix it, repair or reseat the dongle, then replace. Ticket 2, dead keys on a laptop. Test in BIOS first to rule out software, then compressed air for debris, and if it's a liquid spill, that's a service ticket. Ticket 3 is the ergonomics call, split mechanical, vertical mouse, and a full workstation check. $300 to $500 buys you a writer who isn't filing a comp claim. And ticket 4, the gamer, MX Red switches, high DPI mouse, 2.4 gigahertz dongles for latency, $200 to $300 for the pair. Same diagnostic muscle every time. symptom, root cause, recommendation. Before we wrap, lock in the vocabulary. Membrane versus mechanical is your switch type. Rubber dome is cheap and mushy. Springs are crisp and durable. Linear, tactile, and clicky describe the feel. MX red, brown, and blue, respectively. The DPI is mouse sensitivity. Polling rate is how often it reports. And hot swap means you can change switches without a soldering iron. RSI, split, and trackball round out the ergonomic side. Every one of these will show up on a box or a ticket. With the vocabulary locked in, let's clear up the myths that drain budgets and fill your ticket queue. Higher DPI isn't better. Past 3200 it just gets jittery, and what actually matters is polling rate and latency. Mechanical isn't just for gamers. Silent variants are perfect for offices and outlast membrane 10-1. Bluetooth is fine for casual use, but adds 5 to 15 milliseconds, so competitive players want a 2.4 gigahertz dongle or wire. Modern wireless batteries last months, not days, and no, not all keyboards type the same. For heavy users, the upgrade pays for itself. That's lesson 22 in the bag. Input devices locked in. Remember the 4 takeaways. Mechanical wins for heavy use. Wired kills latency. 400 to 1600 DPI covers most real workflows and always match the gear to the user's role. Next up, lesson 23 takes us to printers and scanners. Inkjet versus laser, cost per page, and the network troubleshooting that fills your ticket queue. 3 hardware lessons and a capstone leafed in stage 3. See you there.